today what we'll do, no, we'll yesterday's assignment, we'll do a follow-up of the assignment, and then we'll go on to this one. A few Google assignments, in the Google quiz, I've posted 2-3 assignments. Okay. So quiz, you can just do it now, then we can discuss the thing, and have a feedback. So now what you can do now, you just, I will scroll it down, and you find the answers for this, and you just write, you can write it in your this one paper, and then we'll just discuss the answers.
Okay, ma'am.
And then we'll discuss. Okay, these are, why, 1 second, hold on. I'm, lot of written and all this work we did, okay, on the past 4 sessions, right? So this session will be one culmination, and a little more, helping you hone your nuances actually in framing sentences, right? When you're framing sentences, subject verb agreement is something that is very important. This is, prepositional phrases are very important. Non-finite verbs are very important. So you should use the correct preposition when you have to frame a sentence. Your subject and verb has to, they have to agree when you are framing sentences. Okay. So this is a small assignment for you to test your capacity and test your knowledge, I should say. Okay. So no, yeah, I thought actually, if I post it as a quiz, you can see the marks also, but somehow I don't know why it's not opening there. So you can see it here. I'll scroll here. Okay. So you do it. After doing it, we'll just we'll discuss the answers. Who's there? Mary ma'am? Will
Yes.
you? So what's the first one, ma?
In singing,
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Lata is absorbed
in singing.
Yeah, you're always absorbed in doing something. Okay, so now I have given, she's Lata. Suppose, I wanted to post this as a quiz so that I can really get a genuine feedback, but it's okay, fine. No, I just want you to use this opportunity to learn, even if you have gone wrong somewhere. Use this as an opportunity to just correct your mistakes and learn. Okay. And so you're always absorbed in doing something, right? Lata is absorbed in singing the national anthem. Yeah. Then next one, Valli. Second one.
The boy is accustomed to reading till midnight, ma'am.
Yeah, you're always accustomed to doing something. Okay, I am accustomed to a good class. To staying in temperatures where where the temperatures are below 20 degrees, right? I'm not accustomed to the heat in Chennai, right? So always accustomed is followed by to, right? You're always accustomed to something. Accustomed means what, ma? Accustomed means you're used to something, is it not? Used to. Namakku palakkapattadu. Okay. So the heat, I am not accustomed to the heat in Chennai, right? So I fall sick, right? So no, I am not accustomed to even extreme cold weather. I'm not accustomed to all these things. Okay, I'm not used to this. So once you use it in sentences and you speak, automatically even the children will start, taking in, right? And when they speak and they write also, there will be less grammatical errors. Okay, that's the idea. That is why I have 2-3 worksheets I did only, because we did extensively, we did all these in our writing skills, reading skills, all the 4 days that we did. So this is checking on the nuances, right? Then Prabha, third one.
The man was accused of smuggling and murder.
Yeah. Why there's a doubt? Why there's a doubt?
I actually searched for.
You search for. Yeah, you are always accused of doing something. Okay, of. Accused is always followed by of. See, even in grammar books, you have in grammar books you will have prepositions after certain words. You will have a series, but you cannot keep by hearting everything, right? It comes only by usage. by repeated usage only, you will know that yes, this preposition comes after this word. Okay. So see, generally, why I really wanted to do this also today is, you have lot of writing skills in class 10, class 10, 11 and 12, all three. I mean, lot of creative writing, very, I mean, you, wherever you need to write a notice, you need to write, this one, a letter, you need to write, this one, data analysis. You have questions on data analysis also, no? You're given a picture, no? Pie chart kind of a picture you are given, and you're supposed to analyze that and write, is it not? So you have lot of writing skills, right? So like the writing skills will not come just like that, unless or until you are confident about grammar and about the, I mean, about the subject or the content that you are going to write. Otherwise, it will be, lot of errors will be there, here and there. And what will the children, what will the teacher do? Somewhere she will keep scoring here and there, and some give some 3 out of 8. She can't give, she can't give, I mean, very less marks also. So, but then, as a teacher also, we are not being successful. So if you want your children to come out with good writing content, okay, grammatically correct, and with a good thought process and with good style of writing, you have to work on such nuances. Okay, then only you can avoid errors, right? Then
Accused
Raj
for
sir,
is
can you do
also
the
correct.
homework? No,
Excuse
you
me.
are always accused of something only. Accused always takes off as the preposition. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Raj sir, fourth one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Screen is visible, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, he is known
Hmm.
by giving away gifts every now and then.
No. What's the answer? So somebody else?
Forgiving.
You're always known for something.
Forgiving.
He's known for his philanthropy. What do you mean by he's known for his philanthropy means what? What is philanthropy? Philanthropy, Nainama. What do you mean by philanthropy? Who is a philanthropist?
A social worker.
A person who does good for the society.
Human. Okay.
A person who does good for the society is a philanthropist. Okay. So he is known for his philanthropy. What he is known for? He is a philanthropist. That means what is he known for? He is known for his philanthropy. So philanthropy is the noun form. Okay. Noun always answers the question what. I mean, how describing always, how is it? How always answers the answers? I mean, an adjective. Okay. Then Cyril, fifth one.
Yes, ma'am. Finally, he admitted to ignoring the issue for personal gains.
Yes, you always admit to doing something. Okay. He admitted to ignoring the issue for his personal gains. You always admit to something, right? Then
Okay.
Bharati. Bharati, will you try the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
One? Yeah.
By discarding, ma'am.
Oh, read the sentence. He was
He was
brooding
brooding over discarding his ambitious plan.
over his ambitious plans.
Over.
Okay. You
Over.
always brood over something. You brood over something. You ponder over something. Okay.
Yes.
You fight over something. So all these, these, I mean, over is the preposition that follows. Brooding over, pondering over, fight over something. Okay. Then next again, who will try? Mary ma'am, seventh one.
Seventh one.
Hmm.
I was susceptible
Hmm.
for
No, you're always susceptible
to
to
flattery.
flattery.
To flattery.
Flattery.
Okay.
Okay. You're susceptible to flattery means what, ma?
Yielding.
Yielding to.
Oh,
No, I
yielding
mean,
to.
when
Yes,
somebody
yes.
flatters you, when somebody is flattering you. Flattering you means what? Telling unnecessarily good things about you.
And I
No.
believe,
Ah,
yeah.
but you believe it. So that is flattering. That is
Yes.
some people, when you flatter, someone, I mean, generally, I think human beings, human beings in general, you try telling something good, they're really flattered, right? But, our wisdom should prevail upon, and we should think, oh, is it real? I mean, is the opponent really flattering me or speaking from his heart? Okay. So the wisdom should prevail upon whom? The person who is saying or the person who is receiving the compliment?
Receiving.
Yes. Good. And
Thank you,
then, next, Raj sir, 8th one.
Yes, ma'am. Third one, ma'am, on amending.
Yeah, the members of the opposition disagreed on amending
On
the constitution.
Constitution.
Okay, they disagree. You disagree on something. Okay, that's it. So disagreed is always followed by on. Valli, 9th one.
The university was bent on introducing
Yes.
technology
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, you're always bent on doing something. He's
Bent on,
breaking the things in the class. Okay, he's bent on making noise in the class. He's bent on disturbing the teacher in the class. All these sentences, you also, while scolding also, you can use this. Don't be bent on disturbing the classmate. No, you can say this. So inadvertently, what I said, this is called passive learning, right? So, though you're scolding, no, the child will absorb. Oh, what did ma'am say? She said bent on doing something, right? So that's what I told you. In a language class, everything cannot be taught so explicitly, right? Learning happens from all corners and at every point. Sometimes when you're teaching and then, teaching, yes, I'm going to teach this, that is active learning. Otherwise, learning happens in a very passive form also. Even when you're scolding, that is why, we tell our teachers, you scold also, you scold in English. Nicely you scold. Okay, only partly he'll understand. You can vent out all your anger. Partly only he'll understand. Okay, but then also you can ask him, what did I say? Which sentence did I say now? Like that you can ask him, right? So, teaching can happen, throughout, it can happen. Now, always don't think that, only chalk and board and classroom, yes, I'm going to teach this. It is not like that. There are so many ways, active learning, passive learning can keep happening. Okay, then 10th one, Prabha.
The principal wanted to discuss over the matter with the teacher.
What did I say?
Discuss over the matter.
Please
Discuss the matter.
Discuss itself is talk about something. Okay, so the right for many people, I told you, they, I mean, often it is used. Okay, we discussed about it, right? But discuss itself is to talk about something. So the grammatically correct form is, that's why I always tell you, if a science teacher or a maths teacher or any other teacher, if they're going to, I mean, you need not barge and go and correct it. But as a teacher who is teaching the language, you should work on the nuances and give them the appropriate usage. Okay, so it should go from your end only, because anybody, in school you will have umpteen number of programs happening, right? So this, I mean, when students are comparing, when students are asked to do something, to whom will they reach out to? Every day you have assembly sessions, right? You have assembly programs daily happening, right? So whom will the child reach out to? We cannot expect everything, the parents will be educated or knowledgeable enough to give it, to train the child, right? So to whom will they look up to? They will look up to only to the teacher, right?
Teachers.
Morning, I think, definitely you all will would have encountered this situation in the morning. Students will run and come to you. They'll say, ma'am, now I have to speak in the assembly, ma'am. Ma'am, please check, is it right, ma'am? Yes or no? Yes. So, and when it goes into public forums, so you should definitely, we should be thorough, right? Only then, we should be thorough. Always you cannot say, oh, I will check Google and say, I will check this and say it, then what are we for, what our teachers are for, right? So this was one of the exercises which I thought will, hone your nuances of the language, right? Did you all like it? Did you like this assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah.
I got 9, ma'am.
Just tell me your scores, ma. Tell me your scores. Prabha, how much did you get?
6, ma'am.
6. Okay. Mary?
9 mark. One I said wrongly first.
Okay, 9. Raj
Yes.
sir, how much did you score?
Ma'am, I said that I did not get access actually.
Okay, no,
I could
no,
not-
yeah, fine, no problem. Okay, Bharti?
8, ma'am.
8, okay. Janki ma'am, 10 on 10 now?
Come on, don't pull my legs now. Come on. Ma'am, but I just wanted to, I mean, you finished asking the marks. I just wanted to pitch in with a small idea that I got in my mind when you were
Yeah.
speaking about learning as we do these, subtle
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
But you can finish asking the marks and I'll probably pitch in with my
yeah,
idea.
yeah,
Please proceed.
yes, I have done. Now this assignment is over. Yeah.
You didn't ask Valli ma'am's mark, you didn't ask Silvi ma'am's mark. So,
Actually, I'm
I've
not.
scored-
Okay. Valli ma'am, how much did you score? Okay. Problem at her end. Cyril ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. 9 marks.
9.
Second
Good.
one is
good.
wrong. Actually, I wrote off reading.
Okay, fine. Yeah, now
okay.
you can say Janki ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. So when you were talking about this bent on, so
Hmm.
bent on is also a phrasal verb. So
Yeah.
as you talk about these things, I just want to request the teachers over here, since I know our teachers here in the session. I want to request you to inform them that when you use these sort of phrases, tell them that this is a phrasal verb. And they will
Yeah.
definitely ask you what a phrasal verb is. I think middle school children, maybe 9 and 10 may know, not all,
Yeah.
but middle school children will definitely ask what a phrasal verb is. Then you can always tell them that it's a combination of a verb and a preposition. So
Yeah.
this way, when you are actually speaking something, like ma'am said, when you're shouting at someone also, you use such words. Children will obviously, the inquisitive ones will come and ask you what's the meaning of it, or what does it refer to. And like pull up your socks. Before the board exams, we generally tell the children, you know what, it's
Yeah.
almost time for the exam. You better pull up your socks. So these phrases are something that, like ma'am Meenakshi ma'am rightly said, when we talk to students in the classroom, this is a very simple way of learning by listening to what the teacher says. And second thing that I would like to point out is, while reading our text, be it literature or supplementary, while reading our text, the text can be read in multiple ways, skimming or scanning, and then intense reading and reading with the idea of learning something more apart from skimming and scanning. So when you're reading itself, there are so many grammar concepts that we can teach the students. For example, subject verb agreement. You have a abundant number of subject verb agreement examples in our textbooks. You take any sentence and then you tell them about subject verb agreement, and you tell, see, this is how the author has implemented subject verb agreement in the sentence. That is one way of learning grammar as we learn literature as well. When we read the lesson, we can put in grammar concepts in the lessons also. Grammar is something that children always feel as though it is a section apart from our literature. That's not the case. Grammar is a backbone of any language. I keep telling my students as well. Grammar is a backbone of any language. Without that, you cannot read or write properly, or even comprehend properly for that matter. So I request teachers to insert grammar concepts in the reading sessions as well, in the writing sessions as well, and in RC sessions. If you're conducting separate classes for reading comprehension, please include grammar concepts as part of it.
Integrated. See, it has to be
exactly.
As you, that's why I told you, no, you cannot, you cannot say there are, a number of prepositional phrases, right? So you cannot, technically, put everything, give it to them as notes, ask them to by heart. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So only, that's why I said that is passive learning, right? So learning has to keep happening. So you can ask them to identify when you're just reading this paragraph, when you're discussing a paragraph of a prose text, you can just randomly ask them to see, how the subject verb agreement has been done. Pick up the verb, and ask them to check whether it is right, or ask them to come out with doubts if they have in that. right? So it has to happen that teaching learning has to happen in a very integrated manner. Okay.
So one thing the teachers have to keep in mind is that when you're doing this, you can't do it extensively because that will take more time, and we need to be cautious of the time given to us as well. So we can't do it extensively, but yes, here and there, maybe 4 or 5 examples of this. Similarly, when they use past perfect tense, especially perfect tenses, are the concepts that children always find hard, not just in primary school or middle school, but also till 10th. Perfect tenses is a place where children always struggle. So when we have a sentence in our literature reader or supplementary reader where the sentence has a perfect tense, past perfect tense, for example, in Madam Rides the Bus, Valli had seen the same cow jumping and frolicking, and that which now lay dead. When Valli saw it, she felt heartbroken. So why does the writer says had seen? Had seen is past perfect tense. Why do you think the writer uses had seen and not just Valli saw, simple past tense? This way, when you integrate grammar with literature, you don't have to separately spend time teaching grammar, and it's a win-win case. The child learns the usage of grammar. Grammar is something that children have to understand the usage of those rules that we have in grammar. When do we use past perfect tense and all those things? So summing it all up in a very short thing, what I was trying to say is that request the teachers over here to integrate and club your grammar concepts while you're teaching literature and supplementary as well, so that it doesn't become a separate chore for both the teacher and the learner to handle separately. It can be integrated as part and parcel of literature as well. That makes your job easier and their job of understanding also easier. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Please proceed.
Thank you, Janki, for pitching in.
Thank you, teachers.
And next, we have just you see this assignment. Get ready for this. These are non-finite verbs, right? This also quick. These are all nuances only. Faster. Will not no. Then only we can discuss also. Then I have to check on your assignment also, whatever you have done on the poetry part. Okay. First we'll discuss this 5 and then we'll go down. Okay. 5 done. Let us start from the last. Yes. The teacher made him dash the poem.
Recite.
Made him recite. Okay. Generally, you see people what they'll say. He made him to recite. No, that is wrong, right? So the teacher made him recite the poem, right? So that's as I'm telling you again and again, all these things come in repeated usage and repeated listening to this. Okay. So you should know that generally they will say, generally people would say the teacher made him to yes. Yes, Raj sir. Okay. Yeah. Then she never let anyone. Fourth one, she never let anyone
to come close to her. No, only
come close to her.
Come close to her.
Come close to her. She never let anyone come close to her. Okay. Then one of the boys admitted.
Breaking the window.
What did he do?
I wrote
I have written breaking.
Breaking the window.
Breaking the window.
Okay. What did he admit? He admitted breaking the window.
Breaking the window.
Yeah. Then he got the pictures of his father.
Drawn.
Drawn by the artist.
By the artist.
Drawn by the artist. Okay. And would you mind
Carrying.
carrying my bag to the class? Okay. So these are all, which are the 3 non-finite verbs, ma? Which are the 3 non-finite verbs?
First, third, and
No. I am asking you which are non-finite verbs now? What are they?
Gerund, adverb, no?
A gerund,
Participle and adverb.
gerund,
Adverb.
infinitive and
Adverb.
gerund, infinitive and participle.
Participle.
A gerund, infinitive and Participle. Okay. Infinitive is always what gerund. That's what I'm saying. What? How do you describe a gerund?
Verb plus ing.
What? How do you describe? I mean, how do you explain what's a gerund? As a teacher, if the child is going to come and ask you what's a gerund, what will you say? How will you help them understand that?
ing form. ing form.
Okay, it's an ing, but it can be then simply if I say ing form, it can be a verb, no? If I say singing, it's a verb. Dancing, it's a verb. No. But what makes it different? I mean, why do you call it a gerund? A gerund is a verbal noun. It is a verbal noun. Yes, it is in the ing form, but it will always answer the question what. Okay. When I say exercising is good for health, exercising is the gerund there. How do you understand? What is, what is the thing? I mean, what is good for health? What is good for health? Exercising is good for health. And what is the difference between a finite verb and a non-finite verb? A finite verb, the tense of the verb will change. Okay. But when I say exercising is good for health, exercising cannot become exercised is good for health. Okay. Finite verb will change with tense and number. A non-finite verb will not change with tense and number. That is the fundamental difference between a finite verb and a non-finite verb. Understood? If any doubts for anyone? Anyone you want me to elaborate on it?
No, ma'am.
Clear? Why we have
Yes, ma'am. It's
clear, no? Generally, when I say, I can say I was exercising yesterday. Okay. Then how that exercise will become? I will exercise tomorrow. No. So that verb is changing with tense and number on a time, past tense, with the tense, if it is present tense, now I'm saying I am exercising, tomorrow I will exercise, yesterday I exercised, no. So that is changing, is it not? So when it is changing with tense and number, it is a finite verb. When it does not change, when I say exercising is good for health, that exercising will not at all change. Exercising is good for everyone, for many people, for me, for them, for anything. Exercising was good for health yesterday. Yesterday it is good for health. Today for exercising is good for health always. So understood. So that will not change with tense and number, right? Finite verb will change with tense and number. Non-finite verb will not change with tense and number. Basically, you should understand. First, anyone asks you, any student also comes and asks you. So you should be able to. So that is why gerunds are called verbal nouns. Okay. And infinitive is 2 plus the verb, right? I like to eat, I like to sing. 2 plus the verb is infinitive. 2 plus verb is an infinitive. Okay. And participles, mainly you have present and the past, but always a present participle is described as a verbal adjective. Okay. I like dancing dolls. What dolls do you like? Dancing dolls. Though it is in the ing form, but the dancing is a describing word for what? For the doll. Okay. That is why participles are also called verbal adjectives. Janki ma'am, any further explanation you would like to give on this?
Ma'am, I think you've covered it all. Participle, like you rightly said, participle act as adjectives, both present as well as past participle.
Yeah.
And maybe teachers can also look at some examples of present and past participle, like moving train. Moving is my present participle. And burnt. Yes. What kind of?
Walking stick.
Yes, walking stick.
So that's
moving train.
stick.
Similarly, burnt sandwich. Burnt over
Yeah,
here is past
sandwich.
participle.
Yeah, that is the past participle.
Past
Okay.
participle. So participles always act as adjective. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And
ma'am, just one quick addition to the wonderful explanation for gerund and infinitive that you've given. They can act as both subject and object. So if you can, if teachers can just make a note of that as well, that would be fine. Because since they are noun, they are verbal noun, like ma'am rightly said, they are verbal nouns, verbs that act as nouns, gerund and infinitive. So since they act as noun, they can either be a subject in a sentence or object in a sentence. So, for example, exercising is good for health is where it acts as a subject.
Yeah.
And I like to play in the rain. Over here, to play acts as object. I is a subject, to play acts as object. So over here, my gerund and infinitive can act as both subject and object in a sentence. That's the only thing that I would like to add to what ma'am has clearly stated. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we'll do this. Tuesday. Here, this is the phrasal verbs. One small introduction I have given. Only just 5 only I have dealt with. So generally 100, I mean, phrasal verbs you will come across, as ma'am said, in a literature section. So you can just come out, you can get the meaning of this. He yielded when they pressurized him. So this, which will be the correct meaning for this?
Gave up.
Yeah. Don't say, ma'am. Just
sorry.
then we'll. This one, yeah. Mary ma'am, first answer.
Yeah, gave up.
Yeah, he yielded. Yeah, you said that. Fine. He yielded when they pressurized him. When you yield to something means what? You give up. Okay. He yielded. That's why they say, no, when there's so much of pressure, don't yield. There will be 100 people who will give you so much of pressure in life.
Becoming flexible.
Don't give up. If you are, if you believe in your conviction, if you have the conviction, you will never yield. Abdina, whatever I feel is right. Whatever come what may, I must be able to, I must be just able to adhere to it. I must not, yield to pressure, and I must not give up. Okay. So give up is the right phrasal verb there. Then next one, this one, Prabha.
Put up.
Tolerate, put up with.
Yeah. I can't
up with,
tolerate your laziness. Yeah. Tolerate means what? I can't put up with. I can't put up with your laziness. To put up with something means your tolerance. Okay. You can also scold your children. No, I can't put up with your nonsensical behavior. Right. So inadvertently he will write, no, put up with means ma'am is not able to tolerate. Okay. So that is why, when you are, use all these things as far as possible, when in the class, use your class, time, to put the language thoroughly into the child in a very passive manner. Okay. And third one, Bharati.
Dealt with, ma'am.
Yes. The lawyer managed the case clearly.
The lawyer dealt with the.
You managed something means you dealt with. You dealt with it properly,
Yes,
right? So you can always tell your students, I'm not able to deal with your, carelessness. Right? I'm not, but with students, with students generally they're very careless. You can say, I'm not able to deal with your irregularity, man, because we can't even punish them. We need to be, we cannot be harsh on words. We can't punish them. But somehow we have to, tolerate all these things. Okay. Enga or nalla English la rendu vaartha solliyada நம்ம கோவத்தை கழிச்சுக்கலாம். Okay. So அப்ப கோமா சொன்னா கூட அப்ப கத்துக்குவான். So learning happens even when you are angry. Okay. Passive learning keeps happening. Then this one, Raj sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Fourth one.
Okay. Every parent will come forward to stand by his child.
Very good. Stand by. Okay. To support means always to stand by it.
Stand
right?
by.
My parents will always stand by me for anything. Right? My teachers will stand by me. That confidence you should give. Now, always when you tell your students also, you should say, be truthful to your parents. Be honest to your parents. Then they will stand by you for anything. Even when, when you're otherwise, always we reprimand them, we say, bring your parent, man, I'll talk to them, bring your parent. So what, these are all certain values also, which you should keep inculcating in the mind of the child. Okay. So you should tell him that anything you do, take your parents into confidence first, right? You can do any tappu. So yeah, tappu pandrathu sagajam dhaan. but definitely, you go and, be clear and be truthful and honest with your parents. They will definitely come and stand by you under any circumstances, right? So upon the child will also be able to relate to the situation. No, always, choose a situation and talk about something which the child will be able to relate to. Okay, something ஏதோ ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் எங்கேயோ ஒன்னு எடுக்கிறதுக்கு பதிலா, if you are going to take your own classroom situation, the lifestyle of the child, the life occurrences in every child, you take that as example and you teach them, you try to put on, it will stay with them for a longer time. Okay, they will not forget it. So always he will say, even when he grows up, he will say, my parents always stood by me. Okay, to set by, I mean, these are certain even values that you will teach them inadvertently. Okay, then who did not do it? Valli, Bharti, did you do it? Bharti did it, I think. Valli?
Yes, ma'am. Some people die for power and position.
Some people die for power and position.
Power and position.
Power and position. Some people die for, it's like an intoxication for them. For some people, power and position is intoxication. They understand that, they come to, with power comes a lot of responsibility. Here also you can teach them a value. You can teach them a value of leadership. Okay, when you want to be the monitor of the class, and when you want to take leadership positions, there are a lot of responsibilities associated with it, right? So you have to live up to it. First, lead. You should be a good leader. First of all, you should, lead by example, right? You can teach them certain values also, which is very, very, very important. And as I told you, a language class, any language class for that matter, gives a lot of scope, for teaching values. And, to help them, you have a lot of situations. You can speak about a lot of situations to inculcate values in the child and help him grow as a rounded personality. Okay, so that he can face the challenges in the outside world. Okay, so classroom gives you that, that leverage. A language class gives you that leverage. But if it's going to be a mathematics or a science class, you need to, stick to the topic. Stick to that topic, aduve kashtam. Okay, or formula padikano, they have to do the sum, they have to, that itself is difficult. Okay, always you should not think, only from the teacher's point of view. As I told you yesterday, students need more of empathy than sympathy. Okay, fine. So how did you find both these exercises, Ma? Did it
Yes,
give you a lot of
I got full marks.
Good, fine. Yeah. Now, this one, no, did you find it as a platform to learn something? That's my,
Yes, ma'am.
that's what I want. That's my worry, actually. That's my concern. More than worry, it's my concern. I mean, it should give you room to learn and hone your skills. Okay.
Okay, ma'am, we not only learned these things, but also we have the consciousness that we have to combine teaching of grammar along with this literature.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
consciousness very clearly we got it. Yeah, that is what. This
No.
is the way we have to deal with the grammar. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
this
that.
is the way.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So no, you should always, contextually. That's why, even when I told you that word power, when we did the lexical competence also, whenever you do, whenever, even when you're picking up words, things like that, always frame sentences where the student will be able to kind of relate with it. Okay, so then you become successful as a teacher. Then this one more small thing, I did this for this one, I think with subject verb agreement I did. So next we'll go on to yesterday's thing. How many, did you just go through the poetry at least? Did you go through that assignment poetry?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And how many questions did you frame, Ma? Did you try framing questions?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
You didn't try? None of you?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Then you can do it today. I know. Even I actually posted it a little late because I didn't have power supply. And no, you can go through this poetry. And today you can, today you finish and send it to me. Okay? No problem, no issues.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Who did it, ma'am? Mary ma'am, have you done it? Prabha,
No,
Prabha, you have
ma'am.
done
No,
it,
I
is it?
didn't.
I saw one of them had posted, right? Yeah, I'll just, yeah. So Okay, so you do, I mean, you do it today and send it. All right, do it today. And now I'll go in for one more. Yesterday we were doing this framing questions. Is it not? Yeah. Now, dialogue writing is another way. It's one of the proven methodologies. Proven methodologies, in order to very passively teach, framing of sentences or framing of questions or anything. Okay, so you just see this dialogue and you tell me what will be the question, appropriate question for this. You can know in dialogue writing is one of the, I mean, these are all, you can do it even in your activity classes, right? It will take just 10 minutes for you. You give them like this, no? Student immediately in 40 minutes, if you can conduct it as a test for them, and students also will immediately, then and there you can finish the correction also, right? It is not that you'll have to take the books to your class, I mean, conduct it as a test. These are all class assignments, small assignments which you can give, where, when you're giving. Dialogue writing is one of the proven techniques for, learning to frame questions and learning to frame a proper sentence as an answer. So you just you frame questions for this. It's a dialogue writing. Yeah.
Do you read newspaper?
Do you read newspaper daily?
Yeah. Do you read newspaper daily? Yes, I read newspaper daily. Then
Where do you buy this?
Which daily do you buy?
No.
Which paper did you buy? Which paper did?
which paper?
Do you buy?
Which newspaper
buy?
did you buy?
Which paper do you buy? Not did
Do you buy? Yeah. Sorry.
Which paper? Yeah.
Do you
Which
buy?
paper
Yeah.
do you buy?
Do
We
you
buy
buy?
the
Yeah.
Times of India. Then
What do you like to read?
better,
What?
still better question.
Which sections do you like to read?
Which section in the paper do you like to?
You like to read?
Read.
Or which section in the paper do you enjoy reading? Okay. Which section of the paper do you enjoy reading? Right? Then
How much do you pay every
Pay
month?
for a
How much do you pay for a month?
how much do you pay every
month.
month?
for a month.
Yeah, how much do you pay for the paper every month? Then
Which paper do you think is cheaper?
which paper do you think is cheaper?
Don't you think it is costlier than
yeah.
other papers?
Don't you think it is costly? So I don't know, but I think Deccan Chronicle is cheaper.
Is there any paper cheaper than this? I like that.
Yeah.
Is there any paper cheaper than this?
Do you think it is expensive? What will be the
Yeah,
best?
yeah, super. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do you think it is expensive? Or I don't know, but I think Deccan Chronicle is cheaper. Okay. So no, I mean, even this, I'm also just, I'm thinking parallelly with you only. Okay. Long time since I made it. So it was there. So I thought this is one of the, don't you think an exercise like this will definitely, help your children inadvertently learn framing questions properly, or even speaking properly, Generally, our students, they have an idea, hey, this is cheaper, hey, this is cheaper. No, we have a tendency to ask that, no, hey, this is costly. No, we always have that, that
Very common thing.
very common. Yeah, no, it is very,
Even
very
teachers.
common. Even teachers. Okay. So, when you give things like this repeatedly to the students, even when they speak, even they have spoken English, very passively, it will start improving. They will know that consciously, they will know that they should not bring that R sound for everything. Okay. Otherwise, there is an R sound for everything. Hey, you come. Okay. So that will not be there. And as teachers, it is your role to keep correcting them. All right. Then Then one more, this, all these things, you know, why I chose all these things, you know, because these are all general. This is absolutely general. I mean, you know, and why I wanted to touch upon this is because all your CBSE paper itself is like that only, you know, lot of writing skills only. Lot of writing skills everywhere, you know, write in 75 words, write in 100 words, you know, without knowing the grammar and without knowing, you know, proper framing of sentences, how do you expect the child to write? Right? But that's why I always told you, if the child is exposed to the language at home, fine, yes, you know, he would have heard the language at home and he could know, he has a lot of, and if his peer group is very, you know, actively speaking in English, okay, it is going to be as good as his mother tongue for him. But we are not addressing students like that, no? Do you think all your students are like that? Do you think all your students have an exposure to the language at home? Is it so? Are they that way? You only should tell me. Yeah, please, sir. You open your mouth. I'm not going to speak. You say. Say. Prabha, how are your students?
No, ma'am. As our school is located
Louder.
as our school is located in a rural area, we have 50%, ma'am. 50% children from the city side and 50% from rural side. So
They are a mixed
we won't
crowd, no?
expect, yes, ma'am. We won't
It's a
expect
mixed.
much language from them.
Yeah, so it is a mixed crowd, no? So, Mary ma'am, how is it? How are your students?
Yeah, the same only, rural area, some children and 50% some educated family. It's a mixed one.
Yeah, mixed crowd, is it not? Not that everyone will have a chance to listen to the language at home. Okay, so the more, and you know, you cannot, and nowadays, you know, the reading habit has also come down. You know, generally, you know, students used to know, I think in our class, I mean, during even our school times, you know, we all used to run to the library, you know, and just pick up, we had a lot of comics basically, more than these fat books, you know, running to say 100 and 200 pages, you know, we had a lot of comics. I find less number of comics these days. We used to have lot this Amar Chitrakatha comics. You know, we used to run to the library. We used to pick, each one of us used to pick, and you know, we used to start reading. And that is how we have learned, you know, half of our Mahabharata, Ramayana, stories about Siddhartha, stories about Vikramaditya, all these things we have read like that only. But very sadly, you know, that reading practice has also come down, right? So for children, some it is there. I'm not saying totally it is gone. For some, I mean, you know, so for children who are not exposed to that also, we only should give that exposure. Okay, you know, even in our library class, you know, our librarian, what she'll do at the, I mean, you know, at the end of the, for class 8th standard, she'll conduct one book review. And we'll say, don't simply grade them. Conduct a book review and ask the grade them. Don't simply give ABC and all. Conduct a book review. So writing a book review, you know, is a very big task. It's not easy. Now, even learned people, you know, to learn to do a book review is so difficult for them. Okay, so it's not easy. But you can just come out with, say, 6-7 sentences about whatever small one comic you read. You read one story about one Shakespeare, one abridged version of Shakespeare you read. You come out with one book review. So these are all the ways and means in which you can, you know, give the opportunity for your children to learn. Okay, to do by themselves and learn, and the teacher will be the facilitator, right? Be the facilitator, be the moderator. Okay, then, so that is why, you know, I just thought I will, you know, deal upon all these things, deal with all these things here. Okay, then join these sentences given below and make a simple sentence. Each one of you will try one. First one.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, me.
Cyril.
I bought a sporty blue color Maruti car.
Yeah, I bought a
Sporty blue Maruti.
Blue color Maruti.
I bought a blue color sporty Maruti car. Okay.
I got a blue color sporty Maruti car.
Sporty Maruti car. Okay. Yeah. Then next who will try? Yeah, Raj sir.
He made a very short. He made a short.
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting speech.
Into one sentence.
Which sentence for me, ma'am? Third one.
He made a speech. Are you not able to see, sir?
Yes,
Ah,
I'm able, ma'am.
Yeah. He made a speech. You're supposed to combine all these three into one sentence.
Oh,
He
yeah,
made
yeah.
a speech.
May I?
He
He
made a
made a
speech.
Ah.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Please continue.
Sir, sorry, sir. You may continue.
Say,
Okay.
Raj,
He
sir,
made.
say.
Okay, he made a speech. It was short and interesting.
No, you're supposed to make it as one simple sentence. One simple sentence.
He made a short speech which is interesting.
I have also given the clue.
He
no,
made
here?
a short,
He made a short, interesting
speech.
speech.
He made a
Short, interesting
short,
He-
interesting speech.
speech.
Okay.
Third one.
Third one.
Shall I, ma'am?
Yeah.
Suresh went beautifully decorated house.
Suresh went.
Suresh went to a beautifully decorated house.
Beautifully decorated house.
Suresh went to a beautifully decorated house. Okay. Then this who will try?
She bought an expensive designer dress.
How expensive was it?
Frightfully.
Frightfully expensive.
She bought a frightfully expensive designer dress.
Very good. Yeah. She bought a frightfully expensive designer dress. Okay. Frightfully expensive means what? Buying costly in solron leya. So exactly that. It is that. Frightfully expensive. Then?
The quickly prepared food was tasty.
Yeah. The food was tasty. The quickly prepared food was tasty. Right? Good. Fine. So next one. This also you have this only I mentioned. This analytical question, no? You are given in 10th standard, it is there, no? You are given pie charts like this, is it not?
Analytical
So generally, no, when you are attempting to teach such questions, no, how do you teach them? What do you, do you just tell them to write, or what do you do? What introduction do you give them?
First, a topic sentence should be there.
Okay, for topic sentence for this. Okay, fine, topic sentence. Then
in between
part of grammar you want to highlight in this writing skill?
Comparison.
Exactly. Who said that?
Prabhama.
Prabha, yeah. But why your videos are not at all visible, yeah? I'm not, except Cyril's video that now and then I'm able to see, or
the video is on only.
no,
video is
or I'm able to see very few. Sometimes, so that's why I'm not able to know who is, and I'm also sharing screen, so you're all appearing very in the corner actually. So no, I feel that I'm just talking to the screen. So which part of grammar you will want to highlight upon, or which
the degrees
part
of
grammar?
comparison.
Degrees of comparison. Okay, because mostly you will be writing comparative statements. No, when you are going to analyze data, what do you do? Basically, what do you do in analyzing data? What do you do?
Compare and contrast.
Compare and contrast. No, you say one is this is the best out of all. One is the best, or one is
similarly
better than the other. Yeah,
on the contrary.
On the contrary. No, all these things is these things, before asking them to write, as a teacher, what is your role? Can you just tell them, no, look at this picture and start writing? No. Certain things, certain things like you will brush up on the degrees of comparison. That is why I did these phrasal verbs and all for you. These phrases, these prepositional phrases, and all these things, which are part of any sentence. Okay, which are part and parcel of any sentence. So one brush up of all these things you give, and then you ask them to write sentences about this figure. Analyze this picture and write. Okay, so one of you can you just analyze this picture and just speak to me about it? Who can give a try? You have give an opening statement. Yeah, Mary ma'am?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Mary or Prabha or anyone, Bharti, Cyril?
I'm not aware about pie chart, ma'am. This is the first time for me.
Okay, pie chart. Okay, this is only data, Cyril. This is nothing. I mean, you have data
Okay,
here,
ma'am.
right? So, I mean, what is
The given
this
pie
data?
chart represents
The given pie chart represents or speaks about
the sales.
Monthly sales at a medical shop.
the monthly sales at a
Medical shop.
monthly sales of various products.
Oh, okay. Various products such as cosmetics, sedatives.
Various products at a medical shop. It is this, is it not? This will be the opening statement, no? Then what can you say? The data is there. Tell me, what can you say?
More than 40% of people can using antibiotics like that.
Yeah, more than 40% of the people.
The words are like a maximum people,
Why more than,
maximum,
ma'am?
minimum, like that.
40%.
Yeah, for around 40% of the people in that area.
We have precise picture.
You have what's
Means
the
precise figure of people. 40% they use antibiotics.
For
So
you
can we say that more than 40% or only 40%?
It is given, no, 40% is indicated, is it not? It is indicated, no, 40%. So then you should say, no, then you should stick 40% of the
40% of
people
in that area using
use antipyretics.
Use
Antipyretics. Right, that is what the data says, no? What does the data say? The data says about the sales. That means 40% are buying and using antipyretics, right? 40% of the people in that area buy and use antipyretics, right? And then
the highest sales, shall we say, the highest sales.
Yeah, the highest sales happens in antipyretics. Okay, and the lowest sales happens in
sedatives.
In sedatives. Very nice, good. Then the sales of what other comparative statement? What can you say? What comparative statement you can say?
Both the cosmetics and vitamins.
Both cosmetics
used by the same percentage of people.
Yeah.
Equal percentage.
What will you say? The cosmetics and the vitamins have an equal percentage in sales.
Yeah, as you have told, equal demand, ma'am has mentioned.
Yeah, they have an equal demand. Right? Yeah, both the vitamins and the cosmetics have an equal demand. Right? So these are all, then you can say 20% of the people use analgesics. Right? This is how, no, when the data is given, so you will use more of comparative, superlative, and positive, right? So before you get into this, before you get into data analysis, so you can definitely brush upon all these things, framing sentences using different, the positive, comparative, and superlative degrees for various adjectives. Okay, so you can do that as an exercise, and then you can start asking them to lead them to write, give them an opening statement, study the data, which is more, which is high, the sales is more, the sales is high. Okay, and that is how they have to technically arrive at a paragraph. Okay, how many of you are handling? I think it's a 10th standard question. I've seen this in the question papers. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yeah. So this is one of the techniques that you can use to put the thing, put it across to your children. Okay. So this also, no, I will post it as an assignment. You can write and send it to me. Okay, you can post, you just write a paragraph in about 75 words, and this is the way, this is the lead I have given you, how you will come up, arrive at this passage. Okay, fine.
It should be, ma'am, it should be in a paragraph or bulletin points like that, ma'am?
No, paragraph. Paragraph. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Janaki ma'am, you want to throw any more insight on this analytical writing, ma'am?
Ma'am, you've covered most of the points, along with the introductory statement and the comparisons and aspects that you do in the paragraph.
Yeah.
Ensure that there is also a concluding statement. So the concluding statement should always be a bird's eye view of what the entire data gives us, the visual data, what it is representing. So what do you understand from the visual data? A bird's eye view. That should be the concluding statement. So an analytical paragraph should have both an introductory line and the concluding line. And of course, yes, and of course, in between the paragraph, you will have all the comparisons and the statistical analysis that you do. So please ensure that the children also learn how to write a concluding statement. So that way, when you guide the children in this way, they will get a very solid picture of what is expected out of them, and that will help them in attempting such questions in the examination.
And even mark allocation is like that only, no? Mark allocation is
yes. So the mark allocation, anyway, in writing skill, they may give half a mark to 1 mark for format. Title is optional. You can have a title, but you will definitely write the analytical paragraph in a single paragraph. The introductory line carries 1 mark. The concluding line also carries a mark. The comparison and contrast carries 3 marks. That's how the 5 marks were allotted. Next year, being an 80 mark question paper, of course, there will be changes in the mark allotment. But the rubrics will remain the same. The rubrics will for testing will remain the same.
Yes.
So yes, ma'am.
Yeah.